Hi, my name's Jared Ogden, and I'm about to go explore the backcountry of Montana, but before I go, I want to show you a piece of gear that I don't leave home without. Whether I'm going to Afghanistan or Alaska or anywhere in between, I always carry with me my Camillus knife. A couple things I want to point out about this knife that I designed is the serrated edge, which is critical in a tactical situation, a wilderness situation, the gut hook, but symbolic to me is the bone frog, which is a very common tattoo that a lot of Navy SEALs have. This one in particular came from a friend of mine, Patrick Feeks, who was killed in action a couple years ago, and it was my way to honor his sacrifice. The other cool thing about working with Camillus is they've got a very strong history with the military. They're the original makers of the bayonet, and with this knife in particular, this is the highest quality knife out there. It's time to go explore the Montana backcountry. We'll see you later.
Hey there, I'm Les Stroud, sometimes known as Survivor Man, and I couldn't be happier or more proud of the fact that I've been able to team up with Camillus Knives to finally launch a series of survival knives based on many, many years of actually surviving out in the field. I'm just going to touch on a couple of points right now, and I'll get to more later on in another video, but for now, let's get right to it. The first thing I'll talk about is the blade itself. This is a 440 titanium non-stick stainless steel blade. Now, that's a bit of a mouthful to say. In reality, all that means is that it is, first of all, an extremely hard blade. Second of all, the non-stick component of it might not seem like a big deal, but the reality is, when I get out in the field and I start messing with pine pitch and saps of all sorts, it's nice to be able to have a blade that is non-stick and I can clean off easily. And this blade is full tang, so for those of you who aren't familiar with that terminology, goes right through to the end of the handle. That means it's a very strong blade. Now, the pommel itself is a stainless titanium bonded pommel. Again, another mouthful. Basically, it means it's super strong. When I designed these knives and worked with Camillus on it, I wanted to make sure that they were tough, they were based on survival needs, but also that there's a comfort level. I don't like a knife that's uncomfortable, especially if you're going to be using it for hours and hours and you're cutting through wood. You've got to have comfort in your hand. So we worked hard to get a grip on this handle and a shape on this handle that, for me, feels good in the hand, and feels good in the hand after a long time. That's the important part. I actually had that follow all the way through on the machete and even on the smaller belt knife. In fact, with these handles, I love the fact that we've got the rubber on one side of it. It creates a beautiful non-slip grip, and that's always been really important to me in a knife. I don't like knives that slip out of my hands easily. Same thing follows through for the colors. I've added this bright bit of coloring here, and in fact it's also on some of these sheaths. And the reason for that is not so much style as it is the reality of survival. I mean, I could make these knives in camouflage if I wanted to, but the problem with that in a survival situation, you drop them in the ground like this, it's all brown and all full of leaves, you might not find your knife again. The beauty of this machete sheath is that the machete drops in down through the top like that, but also, if I pop those out, I've got quick release for it. So depending on what your style is, what you like, how you like to put the machete back in the sheath, you can either leave those snaps done up or undo them and sort of pop it back in like that when you need to. One small addition to these blades that we thought might be just kind of handy is each blade, even the machete, has a little notch on the top here which is meant to go with the strikers. Now these flint strikers come with all of the knives, and the advantage is instead of using the blade and dulling the blade, we've got this little notch here, just so it's really just a comfort matter that it fits right on the striker, and now you can get a good spark. Being able to get a fire going has always been a very important thing for me in survival, and so naturally in doing a series of survival knives, having a striker attached, got to be there. Over time, I'll put some more videos together to give you my thoughts on different components, the different parts, the way I use them, the way I think they should be used. So Camillus and I are doing the very best we can to launch the ultimate set of survival knives that work perfectly in the wilderness and help you to survive.